Good evening, night shifters. This is third shift HFY. Settle in, and let tonight's stars tell their story.
Ash drifts through the ruined sky. Somewhere, a world burns. A human world, not so different from yours. We start in silence. A child's doll melted into the pavement. The half-mast flag of Earth, scorched, still waving in acid wind. A single survivor, bloodied, suit torn, crawling through the rubble, clutching a battered emergency beacon. To anyone who can hear this is Rhea Station. The colony is gone. They didn't take prisoners. This is what the universe looks like when mercy fails. Behind them, the ruins flicker with faint, alien blue light. Enemy insignias projected like trophies. Footsteps echo. Alien invaders, armored in bone-white plates, scan the carnage, their faces unreadable. One pauses, tilts its head, and speaks in a voice that grates like metal. No more messages, no more Earth. They will not come for you, not this time. The survivor, shaking, presses the beacon closer. They think we're alone, but Earth remembers its own. We never leave our dead behind. If you're listening, we're not done. A faint blue pulse flashes in the clouds above, an automated drone, relaying every moment to the homeworld. Far across the stars, the signal travels, carrying with it the horror, the defiance, and one unbreakable human promise. We will answer. Aboard the flagship of the HFY Dominion, the massacre is already old news. Hollow displays shimmer above a massive table, showing a dozen ruined colonies, Earth's red spiral logo crossed out on each. At the center, Commander Vale, Nail, reptilian, eyes narrow with cruel delight, paces before his war captains. This is what happens when you defy the Dominion, he hisses, tail flicking. Earth was always overrated. Their legends, their unity, nothing but propaganda. A captain, female, armored, with a pale scar across her cheek, glances at a feed of the human distress beacon still broadcasting from the ruins. Should we jam their message? Vale scoffs. Let them send it. The galaxy needs to see what mercy costs. No one will answer them. The humans have lost their appetite for vengeance. He gestures to the ruined world on the screen. This is the age of power, not justice. Earth's era ended with a whimper, not a roar. As laughter ripples through the command deck, none of them notice the tiny blip on the edge of the system, an unassuming probe, quietly recording, quietly transmitting. In that moment, the future is rewritten, not by the conquerors, but by their arrogance. Far from the slaughter, beneath the surface of a rebuilt Earth, 1,000 silent bunkers come alive. In the dim digital light of Central Command, a ring of Earth's highest, soldiers, strategists, and the new breed of peacekeepers watch the unfiltered feed. No one speaks at first. On the screens, burned cities. The final pulse of the distress beacon. Alien soldiers, laughing. A woman at the center, Admiral Juno Jones, mid-40s, steel-gray eyes, stands, letting the silence stretch. She says only this. Activation Judgment Protocol. No more second chances. The room responds as one. Yes, ma'am. Alarms don't blare. No speeches are made. Orders ripple outward, unstoppable as dawn. In orbit, the first response fleet, humanity's most terrifying inheritance, wakes from its vigil. Vast hulls built not for conquest, but for memory. Missiles marked with names of every lost colony. Across the system, civilians stop in the street as emergency banners flash. No more second chances. And in the hushed darkness, a simple phrase is whispered on every continent, in every language. For every one of us lost, 100 will stand. Somewhere, the signal bounces through the stars, toward every enemy who ever called humanity weak. Earth has heard. Earth is awake. From the great trade stations of the Spindle Nebula to the huddled refugees of New Carthage, whispers turn to shouts, then to silence. Alien allies, once skeptical of human resolve, watch as Earth's fleet assembles in orbit. Massive carriers marked with battle honors, sleep destroyers named after lost cities, ancient dreadnoughts rebuilt from the bones of previous wars. The Dominion's enemies, some who once feared Earth, now pray they are not mistaken for the guilty. In backwater bars and pirate dens, old soldiers murmur the proverb that once terrified empires. When Earth rises, history rewrites itself. On the edge of occupied space, the HFY Dominion scrambles. Orders fly, defensive lines are drawn, planetary shields primed, ambassadors dispatched with desperate bribes. But it's too late. Earth's armada does not pause, does not explain, does not negotiate. One ancient enemy leader, a grizzled male, his metals now worthless, watches the growing storm from his war room. "They warned us," he whispers, voice shaking. "We thought it was a myth." From the shadows, the survivor's message echoes again. "If you're listening, we're not done." And for the first time in generations, the galaxy is united by fear. Hundreds of ships locked in diamond formation, bristling with alien firepower. But the sky doesn't darken with enemy vessels. Instead, a single human dreadnought, Odyssey, emerges from quantum slipspace. The Dominion opens fire instantly. Lasers, plasma, kinetic slugs. But the dreadnought glides through the barrage, shields shimmering with energy harvested from centuries of war. Inside, Captain May Santos, female, early 40s, scarred jaw, stands with hands clasped behind her back. Target command signatures, bypass defenses. No collateral. Missiles launch, each marked with the names of lost colonies, the faces of lost children. They strike only the Dominion command ships. Instantly, enemy lines dissolve. All across the Dominion fleet, command officers vanish in blue-white fire. The remaining crews, leaderless, break and scatter. On planets below, civilians watch as human drop pods descend in formation. The Ashguard move in silence. No speeches, no war cries, just precise, clinical liberation. A Ryzaf general, stunned, is captured without a fight. "Why?" he gasps, trembling. A human sergeant, male, armor streaked with ash, looks him in the eye. "Because this is what happens when you slaughter ours." Across the galaxy, the message repeats. No more second chances. The Ryzaf fleet is shattered. Panic blazes through every channel. On crippled ships in burning cities, Dominion officers, once so sure, so cruel, now plead for terms, waving banners of surrender. Messages flood the void. "Mercy, we surrender. Spare the civilians. Earth, you have proved your strength. We yield. Please, enough." On one battered outpost, a Dominion captain, male, eyes wild with fear, records a last, desperate appeal. "We made a mistake. We didn't believe you would come. Please, please remember mercy." But on Earth's fleet, the answer is silence. Inside the flagship, Captain Santos stands alone at the bridge. The incoming calls blink red on her console. She turns her back, staring at the swirling blue planet below. Her voice, calm and resolute, carries across every channel. "Mercy was your first chance. This is your last lesson." The Dominion's surrender is met with the one thing more terrifying than fire: indifference. Humanity doesn't gloom, doesn't taunt. They simply erase the threat, system by system, until nothing remains but ash and memory. Across the galaxy, word spreads. There is no bargaining, no forgiveness, no more second chances. Every newsnet, every data feed, every whispered conversation is the same. The Dominion is gone. Earth did not forgive. There were no second chances. On the trading moons of the Helix cluster, alien merchants pause mid-bargain to stare at the emergency bulletins scrolling overhead. On a refugee world once ruled by the Dominion, children, amphibious, scaled and wide-eyed, gather around a battered human aid worker. She kneels, passing out clean water and food, but her uniform bears a single phrase in 100 languages: "Never again." In the Senate of the Neutral Worlds, delegates, once dismissive of Earth, speak in hushed, urgent tones. Did you see the feeds? The way they moved? The way they ended it? Not one planet was glassed, not one civilian camp targeted. Only the guilty, surgically, absolutely. A grizzled male senator shakes his head, voice cracking. They weren't showing off, they were warning us. For the first time since the rise of the Council, the galaxy understands. Earth does not bluff. Earth does not threaten. When pushed, Earth acts, without pity, without cruelty, without apology. And across the stars, as the shock fades, something else blooms. Hope. Because the weak know, if they cry out for help, they will not be left to die. But every tyrant, every slaver, every would-be conqueror now lives in fear. Every channel, every comm relay, every language, Earth speaks. A single message pulses from the homeworld's core, echoing through every system that has ears to listen. To those who would rule by fear, to those who would slaughter the helpless, to those who believe Earth has grown weak, there will be no more second chances. The voice is neither angry nor cold, it is simply final. We answer when our own are taken. We answer when the innocent are slaughtered. We do not conquer. We do not threaten. But we do not forgive. On every world, people, human and alien, pause to listen. Let this serve as your warning. If you bring darkness, you will meet our dawn. And when you beg for mercy, remember, that was your first chance. The transmission ends. There is no applause, no bravado, just the lingering pulse of a promise kept. In the quiet after vengeance, stories are told. On a freed mining moon, an old alien mother gathers her children in a shelter built from scavenged human relief crates. "Were you afraid when the sky burned?" the little one asks. She shakes her head, voice gentle. "No, child. I was afraid when no one answered our calls. But when the spiral came, I knew the monsters would be driven away. I knew we'd be safe." Across the new capital of a restored world, a young male, one of the last to remember the old oppression, paints the Earth spiral onto a city gate. Survivors line up, placing flowers and tokens below the symbol. In hidden corners of the galaxy, rebels, slaves, and outcasts whisper in awe. The day Earth answered was the day the universe changed. Even among those who once feared humanity, legends grow. They lost everything once. They learned. And when the call came, they gave the galaxy the gift of memory and the price of forgetting it. On Earth, candles are lit in every city for the fallen. The air is thick with grief, but it is clean, resolute, alive. A veteran, female, graying at the temples, salutes beneath a monument covered in names, voice low and proud. Never again, not for us, not for anyone. Years pass. Worlds are rebuilt, memories fade, but the spiral never disappears. On the memorial moon of Rhea, where it all began, survivors and pilgrims gather every cycle for a day of silence. No speeches, no fanfare, just remembrance. In orbit, a massive satellite blinks its silent message into the void, a beacon for every soul lost and every soul saved. There will be no more second chances. Children, human and alien, grow up learning the story not just as a tragedy, but as a warning and a hope. Elsewhere, far from any planet, a lone vessel drifts in darkness. Its captain, a young woman with an old scar, logs her final entry. "We will never be the first to strike. We will never be the last to fall. But if you come for the innocent, know that Earth will come for you." On distant worlds, elders recite a new proverb by the fireside. When the call is answered, pray it is not too late, and that Earth is listening. And in the heart of the spiral, on the blue planet that refuses to forget, the vow endures, not of vengeance, but of unity. Never again alone, never again afraid, never again left to die in silence. The galaxy listens, and, for now, the stars are quiet.